In medical device manufacturing, you can't always test every product to see that it works, because sometimes testing means destroying product. That's why process validation is key. Keep watching and I'll tell you when you need to perform process validation. My name's Helena Hjälmefjord, and this video is part of my online course for process validation for medical devices. If you like this video and would like to register for the full course, follow the link in the video description and it will take you to the Medical Device HQ website. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the red button and don't forget to turn on the notifications. Now let's get started. I will now introduce you to process validation with the aim that you shall understand the concepts and the importance of process validation. If you have a process in your production where the output cannot or is not fully verified, meaning that you cannot determine that the product that comes out at the end of the production step has the properties that you require, then the deficiencies would only become apparent when the product is in use. If that is the case, the process must be validated. But what does it mean when I say that you cannot verify the product? Luckily, there is a simple way of explaining, and I think the easiest way is to consider a match. Now, let's say that you are in the match manufacturing business. At the end of the production line, you want to confirm that the match that you have manufactured is in fact a good match. Now, how would you do that? Well, one way would be to light up the match to see that it worked as intended. However, this means that you no longer have a working match. Now, this would be a stereotype example of a product where you cannot fully verify the output of your production process, because if you did, it would mean destructing the product. In theory, one could measure the match and do a chemical analysis of what's in it, but you won't know if it will really light up without trying it. That's why you are required to perform process validation. The same applies if you can verify the process but have chosen not to. Now, before going through the steps of process validation, let me expand on this a bit. So far, I have only talked about process validation for processes in production, and you may be thinking that if you don't work with production, you don't need to worry. But process validation might still apply to you, because process validation applies not only to production processes, but also, for example, software used in the QMS, as well as software used in production. So, now we have defined when to perform process validation, but why should we perform process validation? Process validation serves as a proactive measure, identifying potential issues from failure in your production before your medical device reaches the market, and thereby reducing the likelihood of product recalls and associated reputational damage. There are several reasons and benefits of performing process validation. Most importantly, process validation aims to ensure that the manufactured products are safe, both for the patient and for other users. But it also improves the overall quality of your products, thereby improving customer satisfaction, reducing or maybe even eliminating waste, and thereby also reducing cost. And by performing process validation correctly and at the right time, it may even reduce time to the market for new products. Apart from the already mentioned reasons, process validation is also a regulatory requirement. As already stated, it is necessary to perform process validation if the predetermined requirements of the product can only be assured by destructive testing, which is another way of saying that the requirements cannot be verified. In some cases, we could perform 100% verification on all products, for example, measuring the weight or the length of the part. However, we may choose not to, as it's too cumbersome, too time-consuming, and too costly. If these measurements are critical for the safety of the device, then we need to perform process validation as well. And again, the aim is to ensure patient safety as well as product efficacy. Now, let me share a short story about what happens when you don't do process validation properly. A medical device manufacturer moved the production of a blistering process from one site to another and had not performed a full validation at the new site. At a succeeding audit, they received a major non-conformity from their notified body. I was called in to help them perform a full-scale process validation, and it took several months, many man-hours, and a shelf full of binders with records from the validation before we could actually close the nonconformity. Having done this correctly at the beginning would have saved them a lot of time, money, and stress. Don't forget to consider and perform process validation when it is required. I hope this video helped you to clarify process validation. Please like it, subscribe for more insights on medical device development, and let us know if you have any thoughts related to the video. If you want to connect with us, we're on LinkedIn too. You will find us at Medical Device HQ. That's all for now, but make sure you come back. Thanks for watching.